Welcome everyone to this explainer. Today we're going to map out the real mathematical journey to financial independence. We're going to uncover three distinct lines buried deep inside your investment portfolio which make up the three levels of wealth. Knowing exactly which of these levels you've actually crossed and which one you're really chasing changes absolutely every financial decision you'll make from here on out. Let's get into it.
You know what's really fascinating is that the financial industry has built this massive, incredibly profitable business model around a single, fundamentally flawed metric. We've basically been conditioned to stare at this one giant target number, which is exactly why so many people quietly panic when the market drops 4% on a random Tuesday. We're obsessing over the sheer size of the portfolio instead of looking under the hood at its actual mechanics.
I want you to picture wealth building like a giant engine swap. In the beginning, you are the engine. Your daily labor, your savings rate, your frugality. That human engine does all the initial heavy lifting. But eventually, you want to swap that out. You want the mechanical engine of compound growth, dividends, and interest to completely take over the workload.
Here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll start with the engine swap. Then we'll walk through the three levels of wealth: growth beating savings, growth beating salary, and income beating expenses. Finally, we'll wrap up by uncovering a hidden tax trap you absolutely need to avoid.
Okay, part one, the engine swap. Let's look at those exact moments when your money finally starts doing the heavy lifting for you.
So, most of us spend our entire investing lives stuck in that early, grueling phase. And honestly, it's because nobody tells us there are actually three distinct crossover moments where this engine swap accelerates. Understanding these three levels of wealth is crucial because each one demands a totally different response from you to make sure you don't accidentally stall the engine just as it's getting up to speed.
That brings us to level one, growth beats savings. This one happens way earlier than most people expect, and it comes with a major hazard called the coasting trap.
Let's break down the math, because it's pretty wild. If you're contributing $20,000 a year and getting a 7% return, you hit this first crossover line at a portfolio of roughly $286,000. At that exact moment, the gap between what you are putting in and what compounding is adding starts to widen, totally in favor of the machine. But hitting this milestone creates a massive psychological trap.
A lot of folks hit this first line, take a huge sigh of relief, and just pull back on their savings. Trust me, this is the most expensive behavioral error you can make. If you coast now, you are literally walking away from guaranteed returns, like employer matches. You'll miss out on scooping up cheap shares during market corrections, and almost inevitably, lifestyle inflation is going to creep in and swallow up that uninvested cash. You can take a breath, sure, but you cannot stop.
All right, let's move on to level two, growth beats salary. This introduces the illusion of peak balance, and this is where things get genuinely dangerous if you don't know what to look for.
Functionally speaking, this is the moment your labor becomes optional. For someone making $70,000 a year with an assumed 7% return, this kicks in right around a $1 million portfolio. At this point, your money is officially making more in a year than you are. The engine is absolutely roaring, and man, it feels like you've won the game.
But right here is the trap. So many people treat this as the ultimate finish line. They look at that high watermark on their brokerage statement and mistake it for permanent safety. But we've got to remember one of the golden rules of the market. Growth is a long-term average. It is definitely not a 12-month or even a decade-long guarantee.
Just to put this in perspective, look at the period from January 2000 through December 2009. Over that entire decade, the S&P 500 delivered an annualized total return of negative 0.95%. Think about that. If you hit level 2 in 1999 and retired assuming that 7% growth would carry you forever,
well, what you thought was income was actually just you bleeding out your own principal. The reality is, structure always beats size. Having a huge balance without a durable, structured income stream is just a peak balance masquerading as true wealth. And that brings us to the most important mindset shift of this entire explainer.
Welcome to level 3, income beats expenses. This is the original finish line, the true definition of financial independence from back in 1992, long before the modern advisory industry kind of buried it.
At level 3, the entire paradigm shifts. The question is no longer, did I save a big enough pile of money? Instead, it becomes, does my portfolio pay me a reliable, recurring stream of income through dividends, interest, or rent? The income pays your bills, and your principal stays completely untouched. This is the final and absolutely the most durable of the 3 levels of wealth.
It's wild when you look at this quote from William Bengen himself. He's the guy who actually invented the famous 4% rule. He straight up admits it was never meant to be a golden target or a cookie-cutter rule. Yet the industry took it, dumbed it down to just save 25 times your spending, and built a multi-billion-dollar empire on it.
And there's a massive structural conflict of interest at play here. If you pull your money out to buy outside income-producing assets like real estate or treasury notes, your advisor suddenly stops making their 1% fee. Over a 30-year retirement, that 1% fee drag can literally cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost compounding. That is exactly why the traditional advisory model wants you hyper-focused on accumulating a peak balance rather than maximizing your actual yield.
Take Marcus's situation as a great example. On paper, his $1.3 million balance looked fantastic. But when the 2022 market correction hit and his balance took a dive, he finally sat down to calculate his actual monthly asset income. It turned out his assets were only paying him $2,200 a month, but his expenses were $3,800. He was essentially running on half an engine. When he looked at that final metric, he realized he was really only 58% of the way to the true finish line.
Now, hitting level 3 is incredible, no doubt about it, but it leads us directly into our final section, the hidden tax trap, also known as the age 73 time bomb. If you don't structure your income right, this will catch you off guard.
Let's look at Dana's timeline. At age 73, the IRS legally forces you to start taking withdrawals from your pre-tax accounts, whether you actually need the cash or not. That forced income can trigger taxes on your Social Security and hike up your Medicare premiums big time. But Dana figured this out early. At 51, she strategically shifted her assets into Roths and taxable accounts, building genuine tax-efficient income and completely diffusing that bomb.
To navigate this cleanly yourself, you've got to be proactive. First, model your required minimum distributions right now, before they show up uninvited. Second, utilize Roth conversions early, ideally during your lower income years. And most importantly, you need to completely change what you're tracking. Stop obsessing over your overall balance and start tracking your actual cash flow. Because at the end of the day, once you shift your mindset from how big is the number to how much does it actually pay me without selling anything, you have finally reached the ultimate level of wealth. So, I'm going to leave you with this challenge. Next time you log into your accounts, ignore the net worth headline. Dig into the numbers and calculate exactly how much your portfolio paid you last month. The answer you find, well, it just might change the rest of your financial life.